Thank you for double-clicking your mouse tonight. You're listening to the Midnight Frightcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Midnight Frightcast. This is episode number 61. I am your host, and I am back from a long vacation, which was much needed, to the Pacific Northwest. If you're on Facebook, you got to hear a little bit about that trip, and I'm glad you got to hear that because I'm willing to tell anybody that I can.
He's kind of doing an NPR voice.
It really is. Did I switch over?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't want to. I'm afraid of blowing out the microphone. To my right, we have the Scream Queen, Maddie.
Hello.
To my front, we have the Princess of Punishing. I don't know where that came from.
Princess of Podcasting.
Podcasting, we'll go with that.
I don't
Josh.
punish anybody. Well, I kind of do. You have to look at me. Punishment.
And to my left, the Doctor of Everything Else, Patrick.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
All right. We are kicking and rolling and ready to rock it. We just watched a trailer, which was actually kind of, we'll call this part 2 because we watched the teaser when this first came out. My microphone fell. It was Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, Guillermo del Toro. And the director, I can't think of his name. Little help. Anybody?
I didn't look.
I'll have to look it up. Go
Okay. Yeah,
it's basically Guillermo.
He's.
I can't fucking say it.
See, there's the punishment right there.
Oh man, I can't say it.
Guillermo del Toro.
Oh fuck! I'm done trying. Keep going.
We're off to a good start. So we actually got to see the full trailer of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark from Guillermo del Toro. What did everybody think of actually getting to see some footage?
Part of me wonders if they made them go back and cut a trailer that was a little more scary, because the first trailer looked very kid oriented, like you could take your kids to that movie and
Right.
it would be okay. And this next time around, although it's not like super scary, but like I'm not 100% sure I would take my kid to that one or not. There's a few more scary elements in that shot wise, so they just made it less kid-friendly, I think, that second trailer that came out.
Well, and I think that there's going to be a little bit more than that was led on in the trailer just because of Del Toro being behind it. You look back at some of his more creepy movies. You know, you got the, I can't fucking think of his name, the Pale Man from Pan's Labyrinth was fucking terrifying. And I'm assuming that there's going to be something very similar in
all those creatures
so,
kind of had that same vibe to them.
Exactly. So I would say probably leave the kids at home or at least go see it first and then make your decision before dragging them along and giving them reasons for therapy.
But
for
I mean,
the next
also
30 years.
on the flip side of that, if your kids read the book, they had their own imagination of what those characters look like, and it's probably worse.
And those terrifying pictures.
That is true also.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't think either of my kids read Scary Stories in the Dark or anything like that, so I'm not very familiar with this. And watching the trailer, I would say that it looked pretty creepy for someone, for a young person to go see it. They attacked it in a very adult way from the trailer that we saw. Whether or not that is sustainable throughout the entire movie, I don't know. But I would be hesitant to take a young person to it. And just an update, the director is Andre Overdahl.
Thank you.
And that is the guy who directed Trollhunter and Autopsy of Jane Doe.
I love that movie.
So you got a guy that understands horror directing it and someone who really understands it producing it.
I'm also saying, I pulled it up here on IMDb, it is a PG-13 rating.
Yeah.
Which
really
is kind of weak sauce.
But I think they had to do it. I don't think that for their audience and who they're shooting for, I don't think they could have made that movie rated R if they wanted to.
I think their audience is older, though. Like, because I read that when I was younger. I'm almost 30. Like, so I think their audience is older.
But
now.
I have a 12-year-old reading those books right now.
Yeah,
right.
I meant their like original audience.
The original audience is it's true.
The people who are going to pay the money for it.
Yeah.
I mean, a 12-year-old's not necessarily going to say, hey, I'm going to go watch this movie and go out on their own. They're aiming towards the parents of those kids who are familiar with the content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like how they tied the movie together, though, because that was the other thing I was concerned about was how they were going to make this movie one kind of flowing piece and how they're going to tie those stories together. So I like the idea of the book that you write in and brings the stories to life. Like I liked that idea. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, because my assumption was that it was going to be an anthology,
Yep,
just a
that's where
group
I
of
went,
short
yeah.
movies, and instead they've wrapped it well, or it looks like they've wrapped it well with the book that they discover and using their friends in the stories.
What this looks like actually is what the Goosebumps movie should have been. Granted, the Goosebumps is more directed towards kids.
Yeah.
This is probably what this is going to be, is the more PG-13 R-rated version of what Goosebumps was.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm excited to check it out. I love Guillermo del Toro.
Yep.
Say it, Josh.
I'm not going to. I cannot say Guillermo. I can't say it.
Guillermo.
I fucking say his name all
I know you
the
do. That's
time,
why it's so funny
and
you
all of a
can't do it
sudden I
right now.
can't fucking say it.
And it's
So
recorded.
guess what? Del Toro. I'm just gonna go with that. Fuck
The
you,
old
Greg.
GDT.
Oh, Benicio?
No, god damn it.
No, I love his work. I think it's going to be just another notch on the bedpost for his awesome criteria. I don't know. Shut up, Patrick. So, anybody else have any thoughts?
I actually was more excited. So there was a teaser that came out that was literally just like a couple seconds, and it just kind of showed the creatures, and I was really excited then. And as I've seen more of these official trailers, it's a little too kid friendly for my personal taste and what I was hoping they would go for. And the fact that it's rated PG-13, like, that sucks balls.
That ruins it for you a little bit.
It does ruin it for me. As I said, I think they should have gone with their original audience and kind of kicked it out. I do love Del Toro's monsters and stuff, but a lot of his American-made horror movies I don't like. Like that fucking Tooth Fairy thing. What was that called? Not the Tooth Fairies, like the little people.
Oh.
Shit, now I'm just being weird.
Now I'm just being weird. But I don't know what movie you're talking about.
No, he made a movie that was like this big thing, and it was like little tiny things that lived in the house and were like coming out and like stealing people's teeth or some shit. And that was like the worst garbage I've ever seen.
I don't know if I saw that. I have no idea what the fuck it is.
Don't look at me. No, it was really bad. And then I didn't. Did he do Mama?
He did. Well, no, his name was on Mama, but he did
Okay.
not
He was a
direct
producer.
Mama.
Yeah.
I would say I did not like that one. I don't know. Just I love all of his Spanish-made
Mama.
movies, but like, there's just something that I haven't liked about his like American-made ones. But I'll watch this, but
Yeah.
like, I'm not as jazzed as I was.
What do you want to see in it that would make it rated R? Like, what do you want him to do?
tear
like
people's heads off?
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
In Harold, like they were skinning people and stuff, and like I want something really true to the books where they're doing that sort of violent shit. But also, I've talked about before, like really movies that have like a kid-focused cast. I've just never been super impressed with because let's be honest, there's not a lot of really fantastic child actors. Like there's not.
No.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I got you.
So I don't know. I'm not as excited as I once was, but I would just because I love those books.
I want a piggytail or coattail on
You tried-
piggyback.
yeah, I was gonna say, did you
Piggyback
try-
coattail. Not in the bedpost.
Come on, Greg, it's right. Just piggy tail away, dude. Go ahead.
At least I can say Guillermo.
You're right. You can. You're better
I want
than
to.
me.
I want to coattail on what Maddie was saying about what you could do to make that an R rating. I would love to see a stylistic cinematography to look like dead on to the book.
Yeah.
Because that would terrify the fuck out of some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
The book drawings are like terrifying.
Right?
Yeah, they really are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So as an adult, would these books be effective? Like if someone my age would read it? I mean, or are the books more
No.
geared towards youth?
I think there are some, like as I said, I normally apparently this one, but I normally didn't see a lot of children's books that involved skinning, especially in that sort of. There are some that I think are more like someone wander around looking for their toe. That to me is not a something like that you'd aim at an adult.
But if you go back and like reread Brothers Grimm and stuff like that, if you took that crap
they're
literally,
dark.
they're really dark.
Yeah, they are.
It lives in a weird area because it's too, I think, scary for kids, but not scary enough for adults.
Is it something you take your kids to?
My kids are fucked up, so I would take my kids to that movie.
Well, you know Emma would.
Yeah, Emma would,
right.
Emma,
Yeah,
Emma would
she'd
go in a
probably-
heartbeat.
Yeah.
And Ryan would probably go, and Mason would probably go. But like I said, my kids are kind of fucked up, so what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's keep on rolling here and jump to our next step. Oh, hey, Patrick. You know what's next?
He has a sound effect. He has a sound effect for this now.
Oh, but
so
look what's not hooked up
while
anymore.
you were gone, he replaced you. God damn it.
It's the news.
I appreciate your effort to like squash that, Josh. Just didn't
There
work.
will be no squashings. As long as I'm in this chair, there will be no squashings. Who's got some news to share?
I mean, I'll go because I'm going to kind of.
Are you
I'll be honest.
Tail?
Well, no, I'm not piggytailing off of anything. This was I didn't realize that Maddie shared this, so I missed it in our feed. But Thursday, an article dropped about the Soska sisters being banned from Twitter for sharing a photo of their new film Rabid. And I haven't seen. Did you see the photo that they posted?
I think I
didn't
know what
see
they were
it.
talking about. It was just somebody sitting there with like little their teeth and stuff were like exposed, and there was like rotting flesh. I didn't understand it like at all, because especially I log on to my Twitter and there's like 903 titties on there like every single day. So I'm just like,
yeah, but like on Facebook, Benito was banned for posting pictures, and they were fake pictures of
the burns?
broken bones or whatever it
Yeah.
was, because it was too realistic, and maybe that's what they were thinking, is that this particular photo was.
I think it's just people being little assholes and reporting stuff that their delicate little sensitivities couldn't handle, and fuck you, whoever that is.
Was that the photo right there, Patrick? That you just
See,
kind of
I don't know, because I mean, this is a still
That's
that a lot of
that's
that a lot of
ridiculous.
people are showing, but I don't know if that's the particular still with her, her lips being removed and seeing the teeth underneath.
We've seen way worse on Twitter and Facebook than something like that. And so part of me goes, all right, if this was a studio, like a Hollywood studio film, would they be facing the same consequences? And if it was a male director or like the Duffer Brothers or anything like that sharing something like that on Twitter, would they have been banned? Or is it just like a way to kind of, because the Soska sisters do sit outside that Hollywood,
They're independent.
universe. So is it because they're not part of a studio kind of crowd, or is it because?
Well, to me, it kind of depends, on that same thing, but a little different. It depends on who they were marketing to. Because if you're following the Soska sisters, then why are you like freaking out because there's a gory picture on there? But like if they're promoting that to a general audience, I can kind of see where people would get irritated if like, oh my God, little Timmy was looking at Twitter and in between all these titties, there was a picture of like somebody with all this gore. Like that's kind of strange. But as I said, it just depends on who they were marketing to. But as I said, if you're following shit like that and it's getting like pulled up, then what are you complaining about?
Well, see, and if I'm correct, because I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter, they don't just like show you Twitter feeds. You have to go out and search for that.
Yeah.
So with these images, the people who are seeing it are people who are already following the Soska sisters.
Right?
Or
Yeah.
it's being
Or
retweeted.
in a group. Yeah, that's true. But then again, it's being retweeted by people who enjoy that kind of stuff. So if you're friends with someone who enjoys that kind of stuff, you probably enjoy that kind of stuff yourself.
Yeah. I don't tweet, so I don't really know how Twitter works. So
Yeah, I barely understand Twitter, but like the people I follow are all horror fans
Yeah.
for the most part, and so I expect to see that kind of stuff. I don't think I would like, if I was someone who didn't want to see that, I don't think I'd like follow like Devil Stabber 666 or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, so since none of us understand Twitter, make sure that you subscribe to our Twitter account. At MFrightcast.
Maybe
We
give
don't
us a
know what
clue
we're
on how to do
doing.
something.
Yeah,
no, it's just interesting that, and I wonder, based on if that was the picture, if it would have been the same consequences if it was not them that shared that picture.
Yeah, I could definitely see that something like that would probably happen.
yeah, tweet us your thoughts, kids.
Yeah,
We,
Twitter.
we may not read them.
Twits.
We can't figure out how to read them, but we'll get
Tweet
it.
us your thoughts. Yes.
So anyway, that was just kind of something I wanted to kind of hit on because I
Yeah.
thought it was an interesting,
Yeah, that is.
an interesting thing to happen to them. So especially knowing what they make, what they make,
Right.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I'm actually really excited for that Rabid movie though, because I've really liked American Mary.
Did you see the original? David
I did, and I
Cronenberg's?
need to.
Me too.
It's on
I have
that
not
list.
seen it either, so it's on that list. All right, go ahead.
Who else has got some?
I've got news.
Do
Anybody
it.
else? Really?
Do it.
Wow. Okay. So from Bloody Disgusting, so I guess Sam Raimi is teasing the idea of bringing back a Evil Dead movie. not bringing back, but actually creating a new Evil Dead movie.
Okay, outside of the remake that they just did?
Yes, because Sam Raimi was he a producer on that one? I don't even know how much he had to do with the remake of Evil Dead. So quoted as saying to the team at Bloody Disgusting, I'd love to make another one. I don't think TV's in its future, but we're talking about Bruce, Rob, and myself, 1 or 2 different ways to go for the next movie. We'd like to make another Evil Dead feature, and in fact, we're working on some ideas right now.
Because Fede Alvarez said the same thing, that they've been talking about making another Evil Dead for a long time, but they can't agree on an idea, or they can't come up with an idea. So now that Sam Raimi's saying that, is Fede Alvarez in that crowd? Yeah,
because it doesn't say, because he just said Bruce, Rob, and myself, and Bruce Campbell has already said he's done with playing Ash.
He's done playing Ash, yeah. So what are they going to...
Unless there's a big paycheck, I have no idea.
You might as well just kind of riff off that, because that last Evil Dead movie was fucking badass. Mm-hmm. So...
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also from Bloody Disgusting, speculated that David Gordon Green is returning to direct back-to-back sequels for Halloween. How do you feel about that, Josh?
Fuck those guys.
Yeah. A reliable insider told the horror news site that not only will they be filming 2 sequels back-to-back, but they're discussing releasing both in the same month, possibly in October
not going to fucking work. I'm sorry. That's not... Sorry, Patrick. I didn't mean to stomp.
No.
That's not going to fucking work. That is stupid to release 2 Halloween movies in the same month then make them fucking compete against each other. No, I mean, and it's bad enough that they're going to follow it with 1. What are they going to do with 2?
I have no idea.
Hot potato garbage.
Yeah, I was going to say that's some ball gargling shit there, and I'm not even like a huge Halloween fan, but it's just kind of like, let the man die, just leave it alone.
Yeah, because there's already speculations and everything. Oh, how did he survive the fire? And all these people think they have it worked out.
He survives every fire. He survives every fire and every gunshot and every kniving and every trip to Brooklyn. He survives everything
because he's he's on that list of immortal horror figures. Horror icons.
How did that happen? Yeah, Jesus Christ, are you kidding me? That's like, how do you think Gaspar the Ghost came back? Like, God damn, I hate people.
Yeah. And then finally, from the comic book world, Robert Kirkman shocked the comic book world by ending the Walking Dead comic series abruptly with issue number 193. There was speculation that it would reach at least number 200 because he had killed off Rick Grimes in an earlier issue. And people are saying, well, it's not going to stick around that much longer. But in the back, he's sitting there talking about, oh, yeah, and we got these great ideas leading up to issue 200. And then 193 hits, and it's done.
Interesting.
I bet he took all the money he's made and just like fucking ran off to Fiji.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the 2 spin-offs that are coming will help it keep going.
Plus the 3 movies they're already talking about.
And all that ridiculous.
Can no one just like create one good thing and just like leave it alone? Like, what is this thing anymore? Like, you know what? We made like $100 on that. Let's make 19 more and just beat this horse to death.
Yeah. Welcome to the Angry Cast, by the way. This is going to be fucking bitter tonight.
Can we talk about oh shit, I forgot the name of it. Revenge again?
No, we don't need to revisit that either.
I want to get mad.
Oh, that movie that all of us loved and thought was a great movie?
Yeah, except for Greg.
Yeah. No, I think you can thank Marvel for that because they hit it out of the park and now everybody wants a piece of the pie.
Yeah, but
Would you like a piece of pie?
No, none of that fucking pie. That's pie someone dropped on the floor.
So yeah,
some people would eat that still.
That's what we got for the. That was the news. All right, it has been a hot minute since I've been back.
You see how short that is now?
I really see
now. Now it doesn't even bother you now, does it?
I just kind of tune it out at this point.
They have to talk shit about it every time, Greg.
I know they do, but I don't like being interrupted when I'm in the middle of my radio. Casting voice in this
NPR away, my friend. Right.
Since I have been gone for such a long time,
do it right.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah, I feel really.
Does it feel like I'm talking sensually into your ear, Josh?
I mean, we just go, please.
God, say Guillermo
del Toro. Read your shit.
Since I have been gone,
and you
for
know
a
what
hot
really
minute, I swear to God, I'm going to murder somebody.
Everybody silent. Go, Greg.
No, I'm going to sit here.
Everybody look at him.
No, we cannot have dead air on this thing. We just please keep going.
Then tell Patrick to quit being a dick.
All right, keep going.
God, you're hosting next time.
He's drinking right now. Fucking talk. Hurry up. Get it in. Go.
Just like those 19 doctors.
I got something in my mouth.
We're going to move on to what you've been watching because we need to move on to what we've been watching.
I'm sorry. What has everybody been watching? We'll just jump right into it.
Who wants to start? Fuck, I'll start. So I have a list of things. I mean, I'll start all goddamn night. I don't care. So, fucking buckle your seatbelt because I got a list. I pulled a Greg the fucking movie guy the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, really?
I went to the goddamn
did he enjoy
theater.
It?
Yeah, he did, really. And with my left hand, awesome. I'm a lefty when it comes to that. So hi, Maddie. I'm sorry. So
Welcome to the Midnight Fright Tug.
Yeah.
You sit on your arm first so it goes numb, so it feels like a stranger.
No, but now that you mention it, I might try it. Yeah. So I went to the theater and saw a ton of shit. So, but I'm gonna try to knock through it really quick. So
rub it out, Josh.
I went and saw the remake of Child's Play, and I will tell you now that if you were a fan of that movie,
the original,
it will ruin your childhood. And I'm sorry. Again, I'll try not to go too far, but like they took everything that was cool about that movie and just killed it. It's, Chucky had a purpose in the original Child's Play movies. They took that away. Mm-hmm. There's no Charles Lee Ray. It's a fucking doll that a disgruntled employee turned off all the safety features, and then he starts fucking killing everybody. That's, if you want to know, spoiler alert, if you want Child's Play in a nutshell, it's a man that shut off all its safety features, and then Chucky went fucking crazy. That's what you get from the new Child's Play movie. I can't think of her name.
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza, that's the one. Is too young to play the mom in that movie, but she did a good job. And then that kid, we kept saying, like, that kid's too young or too old to be playing with fucking dolls.
Yeah. Playing with the doll.
His mom buys him that doll thinking he's going to love it. And then he's like, I don't want this fucking thing, but you bought it for me. So I guess let's see, like, if Chucky will turn on the fucking TV for me. Go ahead, smart doll, turn on my shit. That's Child's Play in a fucking...
That's a whole different kind of doll. I think those are from Japan.
But yeah, I just could not get... I couldn't get into that movie. I wanted to give it a shot. And it was not great.
I feel like it was doomed from the beginning.
It was
like there's
even Mark Hamill's voice was not good in that movie. I just didn't buy it. Mm-hmm. Once I got, they show him turning off the safety features within the first 5 minutes of the movie. I checked out right after that. I was like, "Fuck, this is gonna be terrible."
So there was like no possession or anything like that.
Nope,
no,
none of
souls.
it. There's no him trying to take over his soul to get into. Because he's got to get out of there. This doll just has safety features, and a switch was flipped. And that kid could have taken the back of Chucky off, flipped the safety switch back on, and that doll would have been nice again. Quick, easy fix. I went and saw Rocket Man. So outside of horror, I went and saw Rocket Man because my dad wanted to go see that movie. So I went, and I don't know how to say his name.
Taron Egerton?
That's the one. But if he does not get nominated and fucking win for that movie, then I don't know why Rami Malek got one for Freddie Mercury. He sang his own music, and he was fucking Elton John in that movie. He wasn't fucking Elton John. He played Elton John really well. That would
be called the Red Rocket Man.
Yes, different movie. But they have a great way of leading into that movie. And they have a great way of telling that story. And if you're a fan of the music, and the movie's really great.
I have not seen it. My wife has, and she said the exact same thing to me.
Yeah,
that if Rami Malek got Best Actor Oscar, this guy deserves it so much more than Rami
so
Malek.
So much more.
Yeah,
and his voice is fantastic. And I don't know, I'm a fan of that music anyway.
Yeah, Elton John's great.
But they did a really good job telling a lot of his stories through his music, even though like if they were in a certain year or decade and that song did not come out in that decade, they still placed it because that's how it kind of pushed the movie forward. But it was a really, really fucking good movie. So I followed that with, I went and saw Annabelle. I thought it was the best of the three. That's just me. Patrick looks like he's going to mention it later. But I thought of the three Annabelle movies, it was the best one.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was great. I'm just saying it was the best of the three. I thought it had a lot more going for it than... And I had just watched Annabelle Creation before I went to that movie, and I took my wife, which was a lot of fun because she hates that shit. But I definitely thought, like I said, that the third one was the best of the three. I went and saw Midsummer. I'm sorry, I'm trying to make this quick. I went and saw Midsummer, not even close to being as good in my mind as Hereditary was. It was 2.5 hours
oh my God.
of not enough happening. It was dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
And there was a couple like spots where you're like, okay, finally something happened, but then you're going to go another hour waiting for some other shit to happen. And I kept trying to figure out why this movie was rated R because I wasn't seeing it. And then the last 20 minutes happened and I was like, oh, there it is. There's the rated R. And I guess there's a 3-hour NC-17 cut of this movie that they're going to release.
I'll wait for that then.
But it was long and it was rough. And they cut a trailer to make, and I hate to say this because I know we had this discussion, but they cut a trailer to make this look like a horror film. And it was a breakup movie. It was a breakup movie. So yeah, there's that. And then real quick, I watched Don't Fuck in the Woods. I have a friend that a guy I'm friends with on Facebook. His name is Droman Jossart. He does he's with Studio 605 Films. He was in this movie, so that's why I watched it. It's an hour and 12 minutes, so it's a really quick watch.
Oh yeah,
and
perfect.
It's a lot of fucking fun. I know it was indie as all hell, and it's got no money in it, and the effects were rough, and the story was rough, and the acting was rough. I thought Roman was good. He played the stoner guy and the bigger guy. I thought Roman was good in it, and said it was a lot of fun. It's on Tubi TV. It's free, so you can check that out on Tubi, and I would totally go check that out. And they're working on a sequel right now. But for what it was, and for being an indie film with no goddamn money, that was a lot of fun. And said they packed it in an hour and 12, so it was quick. And then the last thing I'm going to mention, I'm sure Patrick and Greg are going to mention, so I will mention it, and then I'll leave it open for discussion after you guys talk about it. But I finished and wrapped Stranger Things Season 3. That was my list. Thank you, people, for listening to me.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Next.
I'll go.
Do it.
All right. So I saw this movie called Shed of the Dead.
Shed of the Dead.
Shed of the Dead. It's like a poor person's Shaun of the Dead. It's like they tried to touch on that a little bit. Don't waste your time, ladies and gentlemen. It's not worth seeing.
Was it horror comedy?
Kind of.
Okay.
I mean, if it was funny, it would have been.
All right. Boom.
Yeah.
All right.
No, just don't waste your time with that one. I also saw Don't Fuck in the Woods because you had mentioned it last week on the podcast. And, it's bad acting, bad writing, bad effects, good movie. It's one of those that if you look at all that stuff and realize that they know what it is and they made it, it's still a good movie. I enjoyed it. Annabelle Comes Home. I did go see that in the theaters. I disagree with Josh in one aspect, and I think Creation is better than this one.
Okay.
So I would say Creation, Comes Home, and then the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoyed the fact that it was the daughter. It was a story about the daughter and her doing the... Yeah. I thought the acting in it was really good. I thought the young lady who played the daughter did an exceptional job.
Yeah.
I had a suggestion from Mike, who you heard on one of our previous podcasts. He suggested Dirty Work, which is a Norm Macdonald comedy from the 1990s.
Chris Farley,
a bunch of people from that group are in it. It's actually posted on YouTube for free. It was bad.
For a reason. Yeah.
Yeah. It was bad, but it was like one of those things for Mike. It was like nostalgic, saying, however young he was in 96 or whenever this movie came out, that he thought it was funny, and I watched it, and I hate him for it forever. And then Stranger Things Season 3, I watched it. It was okay.
Let's discuss. Let's not leave it at that.
No, after Greg talks about it, then we can discuss.
But can we discuss? Because some of us haven't seen it yet.
We can discuss without dropping fucking spoilers.
Yeah.
Dude,
so
I will just say I don't give no fucks about spoilers. Like, I made my boyfriend, we went to Cracker Barrel the day after he went and saw, what was the last Endgame? What was the last? That was the last one.
Yeah.
And I made him tell me everything that happened because I was like, it'll be a frosty day in hell before I sit through a 3-hour movie. So I was just like, Just give me some little cliff notes. This is how I did in high school, and this is how I want it now.
And quite frankly, I don't think, knowing what we do about you, Maddie, I don't think you will like Stranger Things anyway.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. But
Give it a shot, but
give it more than 4. Give it 4 episodes.
I know.
But that's giving it 4 hours. So because they're 50-minute.
But it's
episodes.
not 4 hours at one time.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
50-minute
spaced out.
I know.
So-
As I said, that's been my biggest hesitation. Is a lot of people told me the first 4 episodes were super slow, and like, Jesus did
It's
not
that
give me-
way
It's
in
slow.
every season.
It's slower and it picks up, but I really enjoyed them.
Yeah, as I said, eventually.
So.
Eventually.
And then finally, I started watching, but have not finished, and you'll enjoy this, Maddie, August Underground.
I'm so proud. I'm a proud mama.
but haven't finished.
Haven't finished, but I will. Because what I've seen so far hasn't affected me.
Good.
It's not like I'm going cringing at it or just going, oh, this is so fucking disgusting, I don't want to watch it anymore.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no.
There's
it's
2 more.
It's not like something you haven't seen in bits and pieces in other movies. This is just like all those things thrown into one movie.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Proud mom.
There you go. All right, I'm done.
Maddie, what have you been watching?
Yep, sorry.
I actually was going to come here and say I really haven't been watching anything because I haven't. Except before I left and came here, and that was why I was a couple minutes late, is my lovely boyfriend found this great channel on the Pornhub community about this guy called Dick Pics, and he reviews porn, and it's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. He's got a theme song, and it's the best thing ever, and I've never laughed so hard in my life. So that's what I've been watching. I thought I was keeping with a theme here, get that look off your face.
No, no. I want to know where you watched it. Like, where did you?
Pornhub.
Oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
You actually watched it on Pornhub. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. It was like he found it on Reddit, I think.
So he posts his own reviews on Pornhub.
Yeah, of the porn on Pornhub, and it's the best fucking thing ever. I have never laughed so hard in my life.
And it's called Dick Pics.
Yeah, it's Dick Pics, but it's like
picks like you're selecting.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
That's magic.
Yeah, it was
that's
the most
good.
magical thing. And then like I only saw that he had like 3 episodes, but like the third one, it had like a theme song, and it was just great.
I'm like
stuff.
tempted to find the theme song and just play it next time. We
Oh my
cast.
god!
Yeah, play that during the news.
Ooh, there we go. I could get on board with that.
So that's what I've been watching. Nothing great.
Is more porn.
Dick.
Maddie just
Pics.
got on here and said, "I've been watching porn."
No, I've been watching porn reviews. That's classy.
Yeah.
That's classy.
So classy.
She's sophisticated, Josh.
I'm a very sophisticated viewer.
That's awesome,
Yeah, you watch that and drink the toilet wine.
right?
It's
The
closet
toilet
wine. We
Toilet
get in my
wine.
closet, not the toilet.
Oh, I missed you guys. All right, I'll wrap the session up here. I'll go quick. Got back from Seattle, and the next day went and got to go out and see the new Spider-Man movie. It was all right. There was a few missing pieces in it that I wasn't totally sold on. I felt Jake Gyllenhaal had opportunities to really blow it out of the water, and he just kind of blew it.
Taking my kid tomorrow, so
You'll enjoy it. There's some good stuff about it. It's still Marvel comedy. It's funny. There's a lot of action, a lot of great CGI, but it's just kind of meh.
gotcha.
Yeah, I forgot to put that on my list. I did see that as well. I still got to say, though, Tom Holland is the best.
He is Spider-Man. He is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no questioning that
I like
at all.
him as
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
It's good. It's a bad Marvel movie is still better than a lot of movies that we've seen. So
Like Tusk.
I figured it was either Tusk or
it's
Begotten that you were
barely
pushing on.
it's barely effective anymore.
if Josh was saying it, it would have been Begotten.
I know who.
On Saturday morning, I got up early and actually popped over to the theater, and I got to see Crawl, one I've been waiting for since we saw the trailer on that, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Cool. It's been getting really good reviews from people.
For what it is, they did a really good job with it. It's a very well-rounded horror movie. I just dropped the review on GregTheMovieGuy.com. Definitely go over there and check that out, please. But I really enjoyed it. I was not expecting a whole lot from it, and maybe that's why I enjoyed it more, was because I didn't set the bar so high.
Expectations are pretty low.
So take it for what you will. The scenery, cinematography is absolutely beautiful. Beautifully shot movie. So yeah, definitely go and check that out. And then to wrap it up, I finished Stranger Things 3.
Okay, so let's just really quick.
Wait. What did you think of it, though?
I fucking loved it.
Okay, Josh.
Spoiler-free discussion. I thought it was... So when I went into this and I got through the first 4 episodes, I was like, okay, this is better than season 2, but not as good as season 1. That was my initial feeling on the first 4 episodes, because it's like reintroducing us and reestablishing the kids and what happens and what's been going on after they wrapped up season 2. Mm-hmm. So you don't get a lot of that action, but you still get all that nostalgia. And so it took 4 episodes for me to go, okay, now we're going to sit into this. And then in the 5th episode, I finally got a nice little smile put across my face because some bigger shit happened. And I was like, oh, this is going to those last 3 episodes, these are going to really go. And the 6th episode didn't quite go as fast as I wanted it to. But then 7 and 8 really picked up and went. And all I can really say is after finishing it, I was on par with season 1, better than season 2. So season 3 hit me in the fucking heart super hard and put me on the same level as how I felt about season 1. All I can say, and I already put it out there, was season 3 ends on a very beautiful note.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of that, that's where I felt they could have ended the series
100%.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, spoiler free. I don't see necessarily how it leads into season 4, even though they're going to do a season 4.
Yes.
My issue with this particular season was I felt it was a bit slow.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have the impact on me that the first 2 seasons did because they are older.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it didn't have that the youth defending the world type thing.
Yeah.
And which to me then feeds into why do you have to have a number 4? Because once it's filmed and they finally get it up there, these kids are going to be
1920, easily 18. Mm-hmm. It's going to be 2021 before they come out.
Exactly.
And some of those kids, they're 16, 17 years old now.
Yeah. So it's going to be Saved by the Bell, the college years type thing. And I just don't think it's going to be as effective. I felt they should have ended it now.
Yeah. If they ended it on the note, then, and see, here the thing is too, is and I talked about this also already, but somebody spoiled season 3 for me less than 24 hours after it came out. They wrote a big the big spoiler, episode
what
8
happened at
spoiler,
the end.
Yeah.
Within 24 hours, and I was pissed. I was like, this is not going to be effective for me. I'm not going to care. And then it got to that part, and I cared as much as I would have if I didn't know. Mm-hmm. And like I said, that note at the end was if they ended it, like you said, right there, no season 4, I would have been that's the way to put that to bed.
And I completely agree with that.
So season 3 was beautifully written. It still had the nostalgia, and it showed them growing too, because it showed them kind of separating also.
Yep.
And kind of going their own ways and their own path and finding kind of their own thing, but then brings them back together. So I don't know. Stranger Things is to me, one of the best things out there right now. So yeah.
Greg, you got to comment on it.
It was good. Moving on. No, I appreciate what you guys are saying about it. It does take a little bit of time to get into it, but the slowness in the beginning of all of the seasons is really where it grabs me or loses me, because I love those character building moments. Mm-hmm. And I felt like season 3 had some of the best character building moments since season 1.
Mm-hmm.
You open up, and this isn't going to be much of a spoiler, but you see Elle and Mike where they're hanging out, all cutesy type now. And it's kind of sweet to see how these characters are evolving. Yeah, they are getting older, but they're still growing up. And it's fun to watch that amidst all the horror shit that they've been through the last 2 years. And then once it hits that 5th season, and the pedal goes to the metal and it's game on until the end of it. I really did like how they were kind of separating into their own groups. I think the best part of season 3 was the Robin, Steve, Dustin, and I can't remember her name.
100%.
Oh my God. Loved them. Absolutely loved their story bit. I don't know that I can say much more without going into spoilers.
Yeah. I cared more about that storyline than I did Elle's.
Oh, really?
Going through it, yeah.
Okay, I could appreciate that. The other storyline the other character that I didn't think I was going to care about. Ooh, I don't know if that's going to be a spoiler or not. I'm going to let that go. Nope, we're going to just watch it. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. This was the first season that Winona Ryder actually annoyed me.
See, I was just about to ask Patrick, how did you feel about her?
I was just about ready to say that there's about 50% too much Winona Ryder in this season.
See, I thought she's gotten less annoying as the seasons have gone on.
This one really
she did not bother me at all.
She did not fit well into the whole storyline of going into the bunker and all that other stuff.
That was tough. I understand why they did it.
That was Hopper bringing her in, though. That was
Hopper allowing her in. She forced her way.
That was a Hopper in her relationship building throughout the seasons.
I liked her more in season 1 and 2, regardless of how annoying she was. She had more justifiable reasons to be obnoxious and annoying in the last 2. This one was just. But she just got under my skin on this one.
She's the whole reason this whole thing came to light.
No, I'm aware of that.
She's it. She's 100%.
I will say the best thing she did in this season was she sold a punch when she when she hit she sold the hell out of that punch, and that was the only thing that I went, oh, that was pretty decent. And that was also when I noticed that these kids are just getting too old now. Is when Will went to hug her. And he's already a head taller than she is. I know she's a petite woman.
Yeah,
I understand that, but still.
But even still, I mean, it's part of the growing up process, you know. How is it any different than the It series?
I know.
You lose a couple years in between in the It series. You go from kids to adults.
I know, but like I said, I just don't want to see college years Stranger Things.
Yeah, I don't think you will. Because it might come out in 2021.
What I mean is when it comes out, they're going to look that much older.
But it'll come out in 2021, but they'll film here coming up here. So
they'll film before they get old.
Yeah. I mean, if you've seen Wolfhard lately, his hair is down to his shoulders. Yeah. It's super long. So they already all look really different. Yeah. But sorry, anyway, tangent. Let's move on.
They also need different wigs. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, his wig was horrible.
Wig
was horrible.
I know it's the 80s, but they were bad. So was Billy's, the Jerry curled mullet situation. Whatever was up with that.
That was probably the most realistic hair.
Oh, I don't care. That one. You know, it just added to his character just being a
Mike's hair was horrible.
Dick. Ugh. All right, that is what we've been watching 20 minutes
Joey
later.
Ramone haircut.
Yeah.
We are going to fast forward over here to our topic for the evening. It's probably going to be a quick one, A, because we are running long on time, and B, because we didn't really have much of a topic to discuss. So,
yeah,
we tried.
We are going to jump into our topic for the evening, which is viruses and the undead. Who wants to try and explain this one?
Collaborative effort.
Failure.
No, it's not really a failure, though. But
a multi-car accident.
I think they call that a dumpster fire.
No.
We all had kind of different ideas about how this was going to go, but it was also the idea of tying our topic into our feature.
True. Very true.
Which we've done lately. But we all had kind of different ideas about how this was going to go.
Yeah.
So
somebody kickstart us and we'll go from there.
So let's we talked. So our feature tonight was a movie called Mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
So it touches a lot more on the virus side of things versus they're not zombies.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we want to do like I said. When I threw out an idea, I was like, let's talk about the evolution of these kinds of movies and where they kind of came from. But Patrick had a different idea. Maddie had a good idea, and so if we can figure out how to tie them all kind of together within 5 to 10 minutes or so, maybe less, we can get the fuck out of this topic and we can move on without hopefully losing too many people.
I'm not sure that we can tie them all together because when I named the topic viruses and the undead, I didn't mean on how they affected each other. I meant like virus movies and undead movies and how, like you said, Josh, how they developed. I agree with that. Trying to build into something like that.
Well, this is definitely the virus side of that zombie virus thing. I guess I'm sorry. I'm just really trying to get out of this.
Really
Because are you a fan of zombie movies or virus movies?
I'm not a fan of zombie movies, but I love virus movies. And if anyone's ever spoken to me for more than like 20 minutes, I think the rabies virus is the coolest thing that's ever like developed. And like I personally just, that's kind of my thing. I'm like a nerd for viruses. And so I love when they make movies based on these like horrible viruses, because rabies is like the scariest virus that was ever evolved. And I just love that they make movies based on it, because it's a horrible, horrific real life thing. There's such a fear about it that I just think it's really cool that they like made that fear into, you know, an undead thing.
Yeah. Greg, are you a fan of zombie or virus movies? Do you have a preference?
Zombies created from viruses, yes. One of my favorite zombie series is the Resident Evil series, both be it video game and or movies. I mean, movies weren't great, but that's how those zombies were created, was based off of the T virus. So,
all right. So, Patrick, same question, I guess.
Yeah, I actually am a really big fan of the virus movies, and if they evolve it into a zombie, that's perfectly fine. Anything like that. What I enjoy about them the most is it allows more creativity on what the infected are capable of. One of my favorite type of zombies is rage zombies. So we've seen that many times where it's been a result of a virus or some sort of weird outbreak.
Yes.
That allows them to be faster, stronger, more lethal, you know, as opposed to the stumble, I can outrun you with the broken leg type zombie. So I really do enjoy the virus style / zombie movies over anything else.
Yeah, so the very first virus movie that I can, like, off the top of my head throw out there that I'm a fan of was the 28 Days Later movies and 28 Weeks Later. Those are the first, like, virus movies that I can think of off the top of my head that I really enjoyed.
Cabin Fever, what would you consider that?
That's a virus. I guess that would be a virus. Would that be a virus movie?
What is?
I mean, there's something
viral or bacterial?
Because it's a flesh-eating bacteria, but
yeah. But I mean, and said I'm trying without going too much into Mayhem tonight, but like Mayhem had a completely different style of virus or effect of the virus on these people than you'd see, because 28 Days Later they're all super rage. I don't call that a zombie movie. I mean, but they're all super rage infected movies or whatever. And beyond that, I can't think of virus.
There's a bunch
movies.
Of real garbage ones on like sci-fi, because there was one based on the avian flu when that got really big. I'm sure somewhere in somebody's basement someone filmed something when swine flu was really big, just to kind of capitalize on that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, there's a movie. What the fuck is it called? I can like picture the cover, but it came out right when the avian flu was like really rampant.
Okay. I don't know. So I just, the evolution of, you know, you go back to the zombie movies, you go back to Romero, obviously, back to Night of the Living Dead. And my big thing was like the evolution of that and what you saw in 1968 when Night of the Living Dead came out versus what you see in 2018 with these virus and these zombie movies, and how they've gone from these kind of like this horde mentality, which and it still has that same mentality in The Walking Dead and stuff, but like this horde mentality to this like now you can't even outrun one. Right. It only takes one, and you're kind of screwed. And how much faster they've gotten, and how much, like Patrick said, how stronger they've gotten, and how much smarter they've gotten. Again, I don't know how to lead this conversation super far into it, but
well, I think maybe we've gotten like the smarter, faster, more aggressive zombies because like when Night of the Living Dead first came out, like that was scary to people. And like now it's just kind of like everyone just makes jokes like YOLO, bro. Like, no, and like, you know.
Yeah.
But I think they needed a reason for these zombies to be like that, because like if you're just coming back from the dead, I guess that would just kind of, I can't see you being like super fast because you have no reason to be. But if you're infected with a virus, especially the virus in 20 Weeks Later was based on rabies, you're gonna have that. I mean, it's not super scientific, but it's kind of that stereotype of like a rabies infested animal is they just want to attack and kill and all that stuff. So I think that it was more of an explanation of why they were like that instead of just like, here it is.
Do you think it's a viewer thing too, though? Like, we don't, everything now, all the screen time we get now, everybody needs, like, the viewers need everything to be faster, and they need everything to be more, like, quick and, like,
I think that's how our society is evolving, because you've got news at your fingertips. You can get it whenever you want. You can get information whenever you want. And so if you're going to be sitting there watching a slow burn zombie movie, it's going to be a sit, and you're probably not going to enjoy it because you're going to be bored out of your mind thinking something needs to be happening right now because I need this.
Yep.
It's almost an addiction. I don't want to say a speed addiction, but
well, and it would be interesting to see. I can't remember exactly what year 28 Weeks Later came out, but it would be interesting to see if that like coincided with an outbreak of something. Like, as I said, like that bird flu movie.
Oh, if they mesh up with different things that actually happened.
Yeah, because it'd be interesting to see if like these movies kind of evolved because like a lot of times horror movies kind of feed off what people are like, what the country's feeling at the moment. And they're like, well, this is scary to people right now because it's happening. So it would kind of be interesting to see.
So you're saying we're about to get a lot of political horror coming up?
Oh, kill me.
I think we have enough political horror going on.
I don't know.
28 Weeks Later was 2007.
Okay, I don't really know if there's anything going on at the time, but that'd be interesting.
I don't know. Just the zombie virus kind of thing, too, got... Every year there was like 30 new zombie movies coming out. And they were all, maybe one a year was like decent, maybe. I feel like that tapered off also before Mayhem came out. Well, yeah, because Boko Experiment isn't like that at all. But I don't know. This topic is kind of leading me into the ground. I'm trying, guys. I'm drowning, but I'm drowning over here a little bit, so do you just want to take us into Mayhem, Craig?
We can do it. We can do it.
Go.
I say either that or I'll talk about rabies for 15 more minutes.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. We'll save that. We'll do that for a bonus episode.
Patty being weird.
All right. So 75% of us watched a movie for this podcast. That movie was called Mayhem. Patrick, do you have the details?
I do. Mayhem 2017, running 84 minutes, now showing on Shudder. After being unjustly fired from his job, Derek discovers that the law firm's building is under quarantine for a mysterious and dangerous virus. Chaos erupts throughout the office as the victims of the disease begin acting out their wildest impulses. Joining forces with a former client who has a grudge of her own, Derek savagely fights tooth and nail to get to the executives on the top floor and settle the score once and for all. IMDb rating 6.3, Metascore 62, Rotten Tomatoes critic score 84%, and Rotten Tomatoes audience score 63%.
I think that's low.
Yeah.
For the audience score?
Yeah,
I do.
It matches equally with IMDb and the Metacritic score.
So I was not able to watch this. I have a little bone to pick with Shudder, but I'm going to keep my opinions to myself because I don't want to hurt any future potential relationships that we might have with them assholes.
Yeah.
What can you guys tell me, or what can you guys say about the movie Mayhem?
Well, so because Greg hasn't seen it and we want him to see it, do we do a spoiler-free review or did we just go?
I can step out of the room for a little while.
No, don't step out of the room. You fucking
No.
sit there, dude.
Yeah.
You listen to all of our bullshit, all right?
Well, I
don't think there's any big spoilers that
there's no big twist in this movie.
And
they either live or they die.
Yeah,
true.
there's no twists. I mean, if we mention a particular kill or something like that,
Yeah.
I really don't think it's giving anything away.
That's true. You're right.
And as towards our audience, it was November or October of 2017. So we're
we're past that. So
we're
them.
past the
Go it.
year
Do
mark.
it.
I mean, who wants to get start?
Well, I was going to say, you always start out, why did we pick this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
no, that's cool.
picked
Yeah,
it.
so I saw Mayhem when it originally came out, or a little after it came out, and it drew. What drew me originally was Steven Yeun, Glenn from The Walking Dead was in the movie, and he did this movie after he had already been killed off on The Walking Dead. Spoiler if you didn't know that. But
you suck.
My thought was, where does he go in his career after playing this character for so long? And so I checked out Mayhem. That's what originally drew me to that movie. And then that movie, when I first watched it, I told everybody, I was like, check out Mayhem on Shudder. It's fucking fire. I loved that movie when it came out. It kept my attention. One of the better movies I had seen. I don't think it ended up on my top 10 at all, but it definitely is a movie that I talked about. So that's once I saw that, I knew I needed to fill a spot on the podcast too for my movie choices. But I thought it would be a great choice for everybody to check out. So that's why I picked Mayhem out of the gate.
Did you rewatch?
Fuck yeah, I did. I've seen that movie a few times now. I will watch that movie again tomorrow. I'm not saying it's my new fucking Tusk or anything. I won't go to bed watching that movie, but I will, check out Mayhem whenever I get an opportunity. So, somebody go.
I got to say that I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. It got going fairly quickly. There was conflict before there was even conflict, which really led into the character development. And once it really started going, once the virus infected the entire building, something that I loved about it is how it affected people differently. It wasn't just everybody got angry and violent. Mm-hmm. That wasn't what it was about. It's saying that this virus, what it makes you do is act out on your impulses. Mm-hmm. So if your impulses were to make love to somebody, then that's what you would do. If it was to fucking beat the shit out of someone, that's what you do. It's whatever your impulse was at that moment. So it was really kind of cool watching people doing different things in the background. Yeah. And how sometimes it's not like they lived in fear the entire time because they knew their surroundings, what was going on there. So they could take some time and just sit in a room and watch other people and stuff like that. I thought Steve Yeun was perfect for this role.
Yeah.
Because it allowed him to be tough. It allowed him to be vulnerable. I just thought he did a really, really good job in this movie. And I also thought that Samara Weaving, the woman that he teams up with, did a really, really good job.
Yeah, she's great.
Mm-hmm. Everybody, I mean, if you were timid in this show as an actor, it wouldn't work. Everybody jumped in 100% into their character. I just thought it was a really, really good movie from beginning to end. There's not a lot of plot there.
No, it's once that you kind of get through the initial, this is what happens to him, lockdown, this is what's going on. It just, the plot kind of gets kicked out the door a little bit. But who wanted to see plot after that initial stuff anyway? They wanted to see, they wanted to see this guy get to the top fucking floor, how he was going to do it, and how he was going to finish it. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to see anyway.
And I thought the writing was actually really good.
Yeah.
With the dialogue that they did have, I thought the writing was either the writing was really good or the way the actors handled it made the writing look really good.
Yeah. I thought the kills were all very like realistic and creative also.
The choreography was amazing.
Yeah.
It really was.
Maddie?
I really liked this movie too. I thought it was a ton of fun. Mm-hmm. You know, I kind of realized this late after watching it. I tend, for some reason, some of my favorite movies don't have much of a plot. It's just kind of like loose. There's a storyline there, but it's mostly people like fucking around. Like I love Dazed and Confused and I love Ice Harvest, and that to me, I mean, they're nothing alike with these movies, but at the same time, there's just kind of a really loose plot there, and then the rest of it is just them fucking around, and I think that's really fun. I thought one thing that was really interesting in this movie is there's a cure. A lot of these zombie movies don't really have one, so I think that was like an interesting kind of plot line, like, hey, we have 8 hours to do whatever the fuck we want. The pacing in this movie seemed a tiny bit off to me, but I couldn't put my finger on it. It just felt a little longer than an hour and a half.
Okay.
When I was watching it, but I couldn't put my finger on it because like there was stuff happening constantly, but I was just like, I did feel like I was watching it for longer than 84 minutes, but I don't know why.
Well, they do slow it down. I mean,
and that's what I like about it.
Beats in there that they slow down to give a little bit more,
give you a chance to breathe.
A chance to breathe, but also a chance to, you get to see the building of that relationship between Steven Yeun's character and Samara Weaving. You get those little spots in there where they do stop and they do connect, and you get little spots in there for that stuff. And I think that's where it slowed down, was you get all this stuff that would go on, and then you'd get this like little moment and this little beat, and then shit would happen again.
Okay.
But I think you needed that, like Patrick said, to kind of take a breath for a second, because if they didn't have those spots in there, that movie would have been, you're right, probably 15 minutes shorter.
Well, and it also gives the audience a chance to be more interested in the main characters.
Yeah.
Because, and this is something that, when I'm dealing with live theater and stuff like that, if you're a character that's angry 100% of the time or sad 100% of the time, the audience will not care about you. This, slowing it down, adjusting the pacing as it was going through, giving them a chance to adjust their characters, gave the audience the opportunity to really care about those two characters.
I think this is coming from someone who's worked in an office for 10 years and just wanted to see office workers beating the shit out of each other for like 84 minutes because like we all think about it every fucking day. But
you're not a fan either of like really getting to know characters.
Oh, no.
Anyway, you want your, ass beatings to just continue to happen.
I do.
You don't care if somebody fell in love with this person and they're going to move into an apartment and get a dog or whatever the fuck he was talking about. You kick that shit right out the window.
You're right, because I deal with that like on this every day with people texting me. They're like, "Oh my god, I love Johnny." No, I just want to watch people beating the shit out of each other. That's all I want. But the other thing I wanted to say is Samara Weaving's character is what fucking Harley wanted to be. Like, she just really reminded me of Harley from that bitch ass Suicide Squad movie with
Harley
Quinn. And that's what was so weird is because
Margot Robbie.
Margot
Robbie.
That's who I thought it was at first until I looked it up. I actually thought it was Margot Robbie.
Yeah, but she kind of had that like fun, like giggling while she's like, but she was so much better than what they were trying to make her. So I was like, yeah, this is what I want.
This was like I said when I first walked in here, the better version of the Belko experiment. And the Belko experiment was fantastic.
Absolutely.
And I know you liked that movie, Greg.
Absolutely.
So if you dug the Belko experiment, you'll love Mayhem.
Yeah.
It's, like I said, I don't know if I'd say the faster version of the Belko experiment, but definitely the...
But Belko experiment was not a zombie movie. It was
wasn't. That's the only element that separates Mayhem and the Belko experiment.
That's fine. I'll watch either. I don't mind. I like zombie movies, and Belko experiment was awesome. So
the Belko experiment had a whole different reason as to why people were fucking killing each other.
I would say I will add one more thing with this, and I'm going to say it. I don't think this was a horror movie. It was more, to me, an action comedy.
It can live right there just as easily, I think.
But yeah, I don't think there was anything to really establish it as a horror movie.
Gotcha.
And we're not going to have this conversation. But that was kind of my thought watching this, is I was like, we calling this a horror movie? Like, it was fun. Hell yeah. Like, it was a good time. It was like Office Space taken to a whole new level.
That's a good way to put it, too.
There you go.
Yeah.
So.
Do they play Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster?
That would have been perfect. Oh my god, that would have been so fun.
They could have had. I guess they could have had some more fun with the soundtrack, though, when there was so much violence going on, and then maybe playing some Karen Carpenter underneath it, something that plays the opposite. But they could have had some more fun with that itself.
Yeah, especially like. It was a super fun movie, but I just thought they could have taken it like up one level of funness, and I think it would have been perfect.
Gotcha. Cool.
I do like that they established very early on that there are no repercussions for what you do.
Yeah.
So that you could do whatever you want.
Like 8-hour purge.
Exactly.
Yeah, like if you're under the spell of the virus and you kill somebody... not your fault.
Yeah.
It was the virus.
I guess a technical thing is not everybody was infected right at the same moment.
Yeah.
So when they said, okay, in 8 hours, this is done. Well, no, it's going to be 9-10 hours because, like I said, not everybody's going to be affected right at the same time.
But you did see, it was cool to see everybody. You'd see a character and then they'd come around the corner like 5 minutes later and the red eye would be there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't there, 5 minutes ago. Yeah. So it was cool to watch the kind of the main characters turn throughout the film.
Why weren't the like executives really affected?
I think they were, however, well, wait a minute. Some of them may not have been infected because remember they started the filtration system and they said that the virus would be filtered out. So maybe some of them weren't affected.
Yeah, I just.
But then again, if their natural impulse is to be a bunch of pussies, then that's exactly how they acted at the end.
Pussies.
Okay. I just was wondering because they all seemed like relatively in control of themselves, and I didn't know if they were like, well, these people are like at the top, so they're always kind of in control of themselves. Yeah. They don't have weird impulses.
I don't know. That's pretty much what I have to say about that movie. Like I said, it's on Shudder. It's a ton of fun, and it'd be a great double feature with the Belko experiment. It'd be a great office party movie. It'd be a great office party double feature.
Everybody sit down and watch this. Don't mind me in the back of the room.
Yeah.
Sharpening my axe.
Right.
Right. I'm just going to, like, next meeting I'm in, I'm just going to rub my eye real good and just, like, freak out and just see how that helps.
Yeah. And the other thing I really liked, I mean, the violence was extremely heightened in this. There's no way anybody... Stephen Yeun was not bloodied up enough from that first beating that he received down in the basement. There should have been more, but then again, this virus heightens everything, gives you, I mean, not necessarily gives you stronger powers or anything like that, but maybe it's allows you to endure more.
He left that building pretty fucked up
At the end, but I mean, like that huge guy was just pounding on his face, and there was no blood, no swelling, anything like that at the beginning. The one scene, though, when it's his character and Samara's character, when they confront the other group in the showdown.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
A beautiful fucking scene
so
right
cool.
there.
And I love the nail gun.
The nail gun is always a great weapon.
The nail gun, and then what do you say? Extreme measures. That was a great part too.
Oh, that
when she went after the guy that fired him. That was a nice little part. So the whole movie is full of nice spots,
nice sequences,
so,
and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
And I would watch it again just to like more focus on what was going on in the background. Yeah, because there were just shenanigans, and it was great.
Yeah, you know that there was stuff that the directors were throwing in there just to say, okay, these people are going to be watching this, so let's throw this fucking in the background and see what people notice.
I did like the little Mayhem sticker on the laptop.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was a really nice shout out to the band Mayhem. But that was fun.
I didn't even notice that. That's pretty cool. So yeah.
All right. Well, we rate on 3 levels. We rate on the gore score, the fright score, and the overall score. What do we give it for the gore score?
It was pretty bloody.
Yeah.
I'd say, I mean, it wasn't necessarily like intestines falling out or decapitations, but it was still extremely bloody, extremely violent. Gore score, I'm probably going to give it 6.
Yeah, I said realistic. As far as being realistic,
yeah,
6-7 is where I was going to kind of put that.
6.
All right. What about the fright score?
I mean, it's not as Maddie said, it's not really, it doesn't really live in that horror, scary world. So, but I can't give anything a 0. So a 1.
A 1?
Yeah, there was never any part that I felt frightened at or anything like that. So I would probably jump down to a 1, 2.
Yeah, same 1.
Yeah.
All right. How about overall?
Overall, I'm ranking it up pretty high. I got to give it like a 7, 8, around there.
I would hit it with an 8. Yeah.
8. I ran into my office today and was like, "You guys have to watch this movie."
Cool. Excellent. So that was Mayhem. That also brings us to the end of our longer cast. Who's got something to plug quick, and then we can get the hell out of here?
Greg, you got your plug.
I am Greg the Movie Guy, and I'm positively writing movie reviews over at gregthemovieguy.com. I literally just dropped the review for Crawl this afternoon. Go and check that out, and then go check out Crawl because it's a really good movie.
Cool.
gregthemovieguy.com.
Maddie, you got anything?
Nope. I got bit by a raccoon again, and I'm crabby.
Just real quick.
Maybe you got rabies.
Now starts the plugs for the Prairie Lights Film Festival. It's coming October 11th, 12th, and 13th. Grand Island, Nebraska at the historic Grand Theater. Super cool festival. We have a ton of fun there every year. We'll be out there podcasting. Tons of Nebraska-made films out there. I've seen quite a few of them that have been programmed already. Lots of really good content going out there this year. If you are a filmmaker or somebody that wants to get into the filmmaking world, that's a great place to go out there and talk to filmmakers. It's just a ton of fun. So go check it out. Like I said, 11th, 12th, and 13th of October. They have a Facebook page, Prairie Lights Film Festival. Yeah, that's my plug.
All right, so if you're a fan of the Frightcast, and we know that you are, help us out. Make sure that you head on over to whatever platform you're listening to us on, and make sure that you rate and review us. Also, make sure that you check us out online. You can follow us at Twitter, at MFrightcast, and Facebook group and Instagram, Midnight Frightcast. So share, and share some more, and make sure that you check out our films at midnightfrightfilms.com.
We have some coming. So
yeah.
They're coming.
Hell yeah.
Check them out.
All right, that wraps up episode number 61. I thank the three of you for joining us here again. We got the Frightastic Four back, Maddie, Josh, and Patrick. You will want to come back next week. You want to come back every week, but next week especially, or next podcast, excuse me, we will be watching the movie In the Mouth of Madness for our review. We will have special guest Bill Macbeth. He's a good friend of mine. You can find him over at The Wood Artisan. He's a carpenter, woodmaker, whatever you want to call him. He's on all social media platforms. That'll be around July 28th, 29th. I'm not sure if we've figured out a date on that, but he will be guest starring in studio with us. It's going to be a great time. He's really excited to come down here and chat movies and talk about this one. This is one of his all-time favorite movies, so should be a good cast. So, from the Frightastic Four, I am Greg the Movie Guy, and we are signing off to Dead Air.
Guillermo.
Yeah, he said it! Yes.